several years. Last in 2016, Naple, one of the world's best mid laners for a very long time. Just recognized, played on the international stage a whole lot. I have to feel that if I were to look at these 2v2s, NL and Naple should, in theory, have the edge.
Yeah, you definitely have to think so. I mean, these guys, NL even was recently a pro in 2016.
Yeah.
He won the LMS. Naple and the Flash Wolves in general have been running the LMS for so long. That dynasty now kind of ending in the offseason as a lot of those different players have gone their own ways. But this is a pretty stacked squad. NL still is a big time streamer. He's a very high rated player, active as well, so kind of similar to the BRTT Yoda team. This is again 2 super high level players. Naple, one of the best mid laners in the world, and we're gonna see how Riku and G4 can match up.
All right, let's see what they decide to lock in. Slightly different bans this time around. I have to feel they're targeted to Riku. I have to feel that Lux and Sona, with her reaction, is somewhat targeted. The Draven taken away from G4. Lucian, Alistair, Nico denied towards NL and Naple. Now, some old legacy picks. Kennen used to be one of the top tier 1v1 champions. Ranged auto attacks plus mobility plus CC plus all in. It feels like he's one of the best all-round type picks.
Yeah, I definitely agree. As you say, it's like not only can Varus Kennen push, but if you hit level 6, if you do land a stun with Kennen, you can easily follow it up with the Varus ultimate. That is a really strong all-in potential there. But there is a tremendous amount of push on the other side here as well. You're looking at Taliyah as well as the Karma. And these guys certainly can shove, do have a lot of poke, and if you can land one of those seismic shoves, that is going to be devastating for 2 relatively squishy champions on the side here of NL and Naple.
What I like as well, the Karma Taliyah has disengaged tools against a chain of corruption all-in slicing maelstrom. So, you can use the Karma E both aggressively and defensively with the mantra on top of it. You've got a root. Defensive seismic shoves can prevent an all-in. So if I were looking on the side of Riku and G4, I would almost play the shove 100 CS game in this 2v2.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I think that, Karma comes up, you mantra Q the back line, you have a Taliyah Q going out there as well. You can pretty much insta-clear that wave very, very quickly. It does become a bit more tricky. If you're trying to play for 100 CS, you're going to allow them to both get their ultimates on the other side. And then there can be this kind of push and pull where you see Naple and NL trying to kind of zone you off the minions and freezing the wave and doing these things to try to set up for their own all-in. But this could be a very exciting one.
All right, let's see how it works out. I'm a fan of the 2v2 names, so I'm just going to keep running through them. Riku and G4, known as R4. And over the other side, Naple and NL. They are known as Naple.
Naple.
I'm going to be very careful with that one. We'll see how both squads will do.
Well, and NL stands for never lose. So it could just be never Maple.
Look,
Maple lose. Maple lose isn't as cool though.
I've seen never lose on the international stage.
How dare you?
So it's a little bit disingenuous.
You take it back.
It's a bit disingenuous, all right? So I'm just going to say, not a literal interpretation.
You think someone would just go on the internet and lie like that, Trevor?
Me? No. The internet is full of only the truth-sayers. Really intelligent people.
That's true.
All right, so a little bit of poking back and forth. Nothing really substantial to speak of. Flashes in all parties. Defensive summoners on the side of Southeast Asia with the heal and the barrier. So I think that's going to lean in again to this kind of shove and CS approach.
Yeah, but even without something like an Ignite, if you do ever hit that seismic shove, or if Riku can get an actual root, you get like a root into a seismic shove, your all-in potential there is still pretty darn high.
I feel like pre-6, the kill powers on the side of Southeast Asia, post-6, it swaps heavily onto the side of LMS. So, at least until we get to their later stages, Naple and NL need to be very, very careful not to get caught out by a combo, because Mantra Q into Seismic Shove just makes it very easy to do in that slow zone.
Yeah, totally. I mean, as you say, Taliyah at 6, no combat ultimate. Karma starts with her ultimate at level 1. Obviously, it does upgrade as you do hit 6, but certainly the all-in potential can be heavily on the side there of the LMS post 6. And so far, though, they're winning early as well. I mean, they're just being better with their skill shots, hitting skill shot after skill shot. And the poke on the side with an airy Kennen and as well with a Comet Varus is very hot.
Yeah, it's really frustrating, especially on an energy champion that doesn't need mana. Like, Maple's Kennen is just so frustrating. Looking at the minimap, looking at the Rift rather, G4 also needs to pay attention to his workaround. So, you know, when you have Summoner's Rift and there's a lot more room to maneuver and multiple ways you can get in and out of a lane, Murder Bridge, not so much.
Yeah, and I mean, I also think especially if you are caught under your own turret. If you're stuck under your own turret, there's much less ground to work with. If you have the push, you can kind of manipulate the waves so that you're always moving around and having more area to get that work ground, to get those, you know, big cues going out. But if you're stuck under your turret, there's not a lot going on there. We do see Biscuits are taken on the side here for the LMS team. On the other side for the SEA, they were kind of more of a defensive approach instead of the sustain approach, which may be tough. Because you have to be scared about the all-in at 6, but they also still have a ton of poke. And you know, potions are already gone for G4. There is one left for Riku.
I really like the theory. You know, I really like the theory of this Taliyah and Karma. And I think they're just being a little bit outskilled by Maple and NL. This is, of course, the 2v2 Pro-Am. Pro-Am, ooh, very good burst of damage by G4 rather. But Pro-Am is a term that I'm not super familiar with. You know, being South African, living in Europe, professionals and amateurs coming side by side to play with one another. G4 has professional experience. Riku, a caster and streamer and content creator. So, you know, coming together, there's this mix of worlds as we go through all of the 2v2s. And right now with a 36-16 CS advantage, Naple and NL from the LMS, they're just doing really well.
Yeah, they're doing really well. And I think so much of the event is going to be about figuring out what is going to work for your unique strengths.
Yeah.
You know, you have to look and say, oh, as G4 barely able to get out of there, but you have to look and think, okay, what is our best chance at winning, right? You know, is it an all-in strategy? Is it playing for poke? Is it looking to shove and take turrets? And, you know, kind of trying to play to your own unique strengths as players and as a team.
Yeah. And also, to a degree, thinking about how the other 2v2 plays the game. Once Picks and Bans is done, now, you never know what they're going to do. You don't know if Captain Jack and Faker are going to be playing the same AD carry support style, right? Yeah. But once you see that 2v2, you have that minute to interpret how the playstyle is going to work, when your peaks and troughs in power are going to be, cater your keystones and then play towards it. Because I think Maple and NL, if an opportunity for an all-in presents itself, they can go for it. But now they've got this, like, safety net with a gigantic CS advantage, really good poke, so they can just play for 100 and take it from there.
Yep. They are heavily ahead here so far in the CS department, and looking really good. I mean, we have a serrated Dirk buy as well here for NL, so all about the poke on the Varus. And they have just been avoiding almost all of the Karma Qs, which I think is really, you know, making a tremendous difference here.
All right, good damage onto G4. Maple's able to get away scot-free, not a single touch. 20 CS is the lead that is building up, but also this tower is slowly being chipped away. So, you know, if NL and Maple, with a fair amount of attack damage, can get some autos, I mean, this tower's down 60% hit points. If that tower falls, that might be the first tower victory. Because we haven't had any CS victories yet, right? Both previous ones were double kills. Yep,
we have seen a lot of kills, and that Q might have been a kill right there had it actually landed onto G4, who's, again, out of potions. So it's getting really tough. I mean, if he gets sent back to base again, they already are down, you know, 20 CS here. So it's going to get tough, but doesn't have much choice, as will be sent back to base, and we're going to see level 6s coming in pretty soon here for the LMS side. You can see that Maple's just about to ding 6, and then they have the potential of that all-in as well, so they have kind of all the options still on the table here for themselves.
So I haven't been tracking it, but this game, roughly 6 minutes, 10 seconds is when the team in the lead, the CS advantage, hits level 6. I want to keep tracking that and just see what sort of differences we get as the games play out, because we've had very wildly different picks and bans already. And I don't feel like we're going to find the optimal duos today. I think after today's games play out and tomorrow we come back for the you know, rounds that are deeper down. Look at that. Burst damage onto G4, remember? He's already going to be backing away. Good root by Riku, but there's no follow-up. Enough damage. Some of the heal was used. The Ignite is blown down as well. Weaver's Wall will buy some time. 74 CS to 42. G4 and Riku, they need to find a way to punish Maple and NL's the only way to come back in this game.
Yeah, we'll see if they can. I mean, 2 summoners are at least down for the LMS side, so summoner advantage on the side here of the SEA. We'll see if they can actually look for any potential all-in, but that is probably going to be very tough to do, as you know, the LMS team doesn't have to go for an all-in. They can just sit back. They can use their CS advantage. They can play for that sort of style. We'll find out if they're going to be able to find any of those openings, but with G4 already so low, it's really tough.
Yeah, it really is. Well, take a look at the flash engage. That'll be the first kill, really easily done. Follow-up stun onto Riku, forced to flash, save her life. Riku will need to go back soon, so flash is available for G4. It's only a 16 CS game now, in favor of the LMS. As soon as it hits 100, they will pick up a win. Remind me now, Varus was pretty popular in the 1v1s of the 2v2s of years gone by, right?
Yeah, Varus definitely has been one of the really popular champions there. I mean, you have such good poke. You actually do have reasonable all-in at 6 as well, and he has good wave clear. There's like a lot of things going for this champion that make him pretty tough to deal with, especially on a map like this where there's not a lot of room to kind of navigate and get around behind a Varus. You can't flank him. You can't do anything like that, and there's also, a lot of skill shot champions are even stronger on this map simply because it's not that wide, right? When you are down around that turret, there's not a tremendous amount of room to kind of navigate and move around.
Like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yep.
Azael. I'm quite surprised. We saw Taliyah banned in the Summoners Rift NA vs EU match earlier. I saw Taliyah picked here. When I was coming in looking at prep by 23-24, especially talking to VODS, we were under the assumption that Taliyah may not be seen at all. Chain of Corruption goes wide. Never Lose is going to miss the most missed skill shot in professional play. And now Maple's going to get shoved around. 2 CS remaining, 1 CS remaining. This is the 100 CS victory for the LMS. I think someone expected. They played their 2v2 well, and they played to the win condition of 100 CS.
Yeah, well played to them. They were definitely in control the whole time. They did get a kill to boot, so getting a little bit of both sides of it there. And it was well played also by the SCA side, giving it their best. But I mean, that is essentially 2 current pros almost. I mean, NL, yes, he's been out of the scene for a bit, but still, this guy was recently a pro. Yeah. He was a champion of his region, and he's paired up with Maple, who's an absolute monster. Yeah. So the odds a little bit in their favor for sure.
I really like the theory, though. I like the idea of what Karma and Taliyah were trying to do, but it just didn't work out. Maybe Taliyah's current power state. I'm going to say that's part of the reason why. This is a replay, I think, of just the first kill.
Yeah.
It's a really good combination, and you can't afford to do that when you know that there's a reply.
Yeah, but it's so tough, right? What do you do when you're already down 20 CS? You got to make some sort of move, and they tried to look for it, but the Kennen ultimate lands the stun, piercing arrow, free to hit. With that skill shot there, they burst them down. Well played to both sides, but the LMS squad going to be moving on.
I really like the smiles. I like the lot, even though people are losing. They will get themselves eliminated and knocked down. We're going to get ourselves set up for the next 2v2. And of course, we're going to turn our attention to the VCS representatives, QTV and Zeros. They will be going up against 2 representatives from Turkey in Immortaru and Dumbledoge. Let's start by introducing you to the VCS representatives. QTV, he's a former pro, has played both mid and top. This is a guy's got over 120 games, professional, pretty well known in within his region. Over 370,000 followers on Facebook, nearly 300,000 subscribers on YouTube now as a streamer and content creator.
It's also really cool because he's actually an owner of a Vietnamese team as well. So, definitely heavily involved in the scene.
And not only is he an owner, he has 2 games. But a 50% win ratio.
Hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'll take that.
Hey, I've seen an LPL owner with 100%.
Let's be a little bit better.
It's only 1 game.
Yeah.
Turn our attention, of course, to the Turkish reps. Dumbledoge, legendary support. He killed Faker.
He did kill Faker. He roamed mid. And was able to kill Faker on the Jenna in MSI 2015. This guy has a tremendous amount of experience, though, over 300 professional games played, and he's going to be